dismissed every accomplishment I've made. You've talked about my father. Well, you call me an entitled millennial, I call you a carny succubus, because the dirty secret about you, the dirty secret is you need this generation more than it needs you.
What up, y'all? It's KMB, the Sexy Ninja, in the place to be for our Paper Saber universe, and this is the New World Podcast, brother. I am exhausted, but I am excited because we are going to Phoenix Fan Fusion. Is that what they call it? They don't call it Comic-Con, right? But yeah, we're down here in Phoenix, Arizona. Came down to check it out. Found out there's a lot of wrestling going on this weekend in this town, too. But we're going to talk about SmackDown, June 6, 2025. Wade, Joe on commentary. We're in Bakersfield, California, right down the road from Money in the Bank. They're at the Dignity Health Arena. We started off with Seth Rollins, calling everybody out. It's like, yeah, anybody in our way better get out of our way, blah, 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 blah. I'm still not digging this whole Seth Rollins thing with Braun and Bronson Reed, two Bronsons. But Solo comes out with Jacob and JC. They come out and they're like, hey, man, you over here talking a big game. And Seth's like, oh, you better not get in our way. And Solo's like, well, what if we do? And he's like, hey, I'm afraid. There's a 5-2 to be afraid of, but it ain't you. And he looked at Jacob, trying to cause a wedge between the two, And what happens after this, after Seth and them, like, let's back down, let's walk away. Here comes Jimmy Uso, because JC Mateo versus Jimmy Uso is the first match of the night. We go right into that, and it's causing a little bit of a rift because there was some outside shenanigans with Solo, then Jacob, and causing Jimmy to get the win over JC. And JC is screaming at Solo, being like, hey, man, he's the problem. He's the problem. So when Jacob finally turns on Solo and JC, it's going to be a huge freaking pop. I mean, huge. And it's coming, and I'm excited. We have Zelina and Julia backstage. Julia's like, hey, I got your back. And Zelina's like, all right, cool. And I was confused by this, too. I was like, wait a minute. Weren't you a heel in NXT before you came up here? Jacob and Damian. Damian says he's coming after that championship, and Jacob's like, bring it on, son. Jacob ain't scared. You know what I'm saying? All gas, no brakes, bro. I'm gonna beat your ass, Damian, even though I love you. But we have, what do they call this? A Bakersfield Brawl. Zelina versus Piper. Chelsea's Pride mask is awesome. This was just a fun match for what it was. Really didn't care for the Slim Jim logos to be on the table. I feel like that's taking it a little bit too far. You know what I mean? Now then they're going to have logos on the chairs that they're going to get hit by. Logos on the kendo stick. Logos on the fire extinguishers. Logos everywhere. Just wasn't a fan of them. Then we go right into, after Zelina gets the win, they beat her down, and Julia comes out. I'm like, yay, Julia for the save. Then no, Julia turns her back on Zelina, and I was like, yes. Give me this rivalry. Let's just get away from Piper. Even though and Chelsea and then the Secret Service, this has been overplayed. Let's go in a new direction. And I want to see Julia take on Zelina Vega. Then we get Jay backstage, sitting in the corner with his championship, looking great. Here comes Cody. Then here comes Jimmy. They're like, you I ooze. And Jay's like, why does everyone keep asking me that? I got a little beat up. I'm the champ. When I'm asked to step up, I step up. So everyone needs to understand that. Jimmy's like, all right. And Cody's like, all right. And Jay's like, I'll catch y'all later. We get an Aleister Black promo package. And he's taking on LA Knight next. Awesome match, dude. LA Knight versus Aleister Black. Awesome match, but end by a stupid DQ. I'm tired of really great matches ending this way. Because here comes Seth. And here comes his boys and everything. I was like, what are they, Death Riders 2.0? Or the Seth Riders they're being labeled as? But there was a moment where Aleister and Seth face to face, and I was like, oh, hello, darkness, my old friend, is what I thought. I was like, okay, but yeah, they just came out and they ruined a great match. So they're just beating up everybody. And this is not the last we see of them either. So, Nick and Adam have a big announcement for the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament. It's going to end at Night of Champions. And whoever wins Queen of the Ring and King of the Ring will get title shots at SummerSlam August 2nd and 3rd. It's going to be a 2-night boy. Yeah, and then they announced, too, a Saturday night main event, July 12th. An Evolution on the 13th. Same weekend as All in Texas. That's shady, WWE. Come on. But hey, I look at the positive in the sense of like, I just get a lot of good wrestling that weekend. Why not? Byron with Jade. And here comes Charlotte. I was like, where have you been, girl? But the tease is there. Jade and Charlotte. We will see these two fight soon. LDF, they got a promo because they have a big match at Worlds Collide. Then we get Byron with American Made. And here comes Andrade. Here comes Penta. A little bit of tension. And it sets up a match later on tonight with Andrade and Penta taking on American Made. We get some Tiffy time. And here comes Rhea. Rhea's like, hey, man, I'm going to win that Money in the Bank. And you better watch out because I'm coming after titles. This is what I'm going to do. And Tiffy's like, okay. And she knows. She cashed in. So she understands the consequences of the Money in the Bank. But then we have this badass freaking 3-on-3 match. Rhea, Stephanie, Alexa versus Julia, Roxanne, and Naomi. Oh my gosh. Talk about awesome. I mean, a battle between these guys. It was just awesome, man. But Rhea and Stephanie and Alexa got the win. But this is my match of the night. We get Solo and JC backstage. They're talking smack. They're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And remember, he goes, he's all gas, no brains. And they kind of laugh. But Jacob walks around the corner after they walk away like, tee-hee-hee-hee. And Jacob's like, I heard you. It's coming. The breakup. Wyatt 6 promo package. They are after the men's division. They said this is not nostalgia. This is a threat, basically. And then we cut to DIY, the Street Profits, Fraxium, Motor City Machine Guns. They're with Nick. They're all, so Nick has to figure all of this out. Then we get Penta and Andrade versus American Made. Vikingo's in the crowd. And this was my second match of the night. I mean, this was fucking awesome, dude. And it was a back and forth battle. Chad tried to help American Made, but no, Vikingo came down and got him because they have a big match for the big AAA Mega Championship. Oh, I can't wait to watch that match. But yeah, all that, and all of a sudden Penta and Andrade got the win. Then we get Seth again with his crew beating down Penta and Andrade. And Paul cuts a promo, and I was like, 3 times tonight? 3? Why? But then here comes Cody, here comes Jay, Seth back off again. Then here comes Cena, Logan. And I was like, y'all got 10 minutes. And most of it was fighting, which I was okay with. Because at the end of it, Cena and Logan were standing tall. And I was like, all right, awesome. Cena wasn't laid out. Good. And people are chanting, we want our truth. Cena's like, you can't handle the truth. And he says, look at this. And Logan's holding the world title after they beat down Cody and Jane. He's like, this is what your future is. I was like, no, that's not what I want. He's like, I'm going to ruin wrestling. I'm like, you are. Stop it, Cena. Stop it. But it's just an end shot with Cena and Logan holding both titles above their heads. The last real champion and our new champion, a YouTuber. So that's the way we end the show. That was a lot of show. But that was SmackDown, June 6, 2025. Wade, Joe, and commentary in Bakersfield, California at Dignity Health Arena. Match of the night, Rhea, Stephanie, Alexa versus Julia, Roxanne, and Naomi. Moment of the night. Huh. Cena, Logan's, I gotta say, them holding them titles above their head, I was like, ugh. And not a good way. Not a moment of the night in a good way. A moment of the night, like, this better not happen. Well, let's talk about Money in the Bank right quick. I gotta pull my notes here. Where are we at? Where's that Money in the Bank? Just going to do a real quick picks and predictions because I got to get hitting the road so we can get over to the con itself. Well, Money in the Bank 2025, 4 matches on the card in Los Angeles, California. We'll start off with the women's Money in the Bank. Rhea versus Alexa versus Roxanne versus Julia versus Naomi versus Stephanie. Some part of me has a feeling that it's either going to be Julia or Stephanie, but the odds-on favorite to win is Rhea Ripley. I just feel that's where we're going to go with that. And then she's going to go after Tiffy. You know, I just have that feeling. Or Liv. No, Liv's not the champion. Who's the world champion? Who is the world champion? And, Io. Duh, dumbass. Sorry, Io. Then the men's Money in the Bank. LA versus Andrade versus Penta versus Solo versus Seth versus Americano. I just got a feeling Seth's going to win. His goons will come in, and then he'll cash in the next night after Jay and Gunther go to battle. Yeah, not making me happy. Intercontinental Championship match. I know Lyra's probably going to win, but I just want Becky to win, so I'm a little biased here. I'm like, Becky, just beat Lyra's ass. I don't care about Lyra. But Cody and Jay versus Cena and Logan. It has to be in Cody and Jay, right? It has to be. You know, so they can say Cody has a win over Cena. Maybe he pins Cena. 1, 2, 3. Be like, hey, I want my match, man. And then we got Saturday Night Main Event, and then we got SummerSlam right after that. Perfect time. But when are we gonna get Cena? When are we gonna get a lot of things, man? This as excited as I am for Cody to get back that championship at some certain point. Needs something to happen here in WWE. They get me like, oh yeah, But I've been like, oh yeah. I'm more excited about All in Texas. And there's only 3 matches for that card announced, But that's it. That's all. That's picks and predictions for Money in the Bank 2025. 4 matches on this card. We'll see how it goes. They probably might add another match. Maybe, maybe not. I'm really excited about Worlds Collide as well. So drop those comments below. Hit that like. Hit that subscribe. SmackDown, I give a 3 out of 5. Okay? Drop those comments below. Show your grandma, show the bum down to Walmart. I am KMB the Sexy Ninja. And remember that the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
Threatened just a little bit by one Fatu in this ring, but it ain't you.